Hello, I'm glad you're here. I'm Dr. Kimberly Garver, member of the Department of Radiology at Michigan Medicine. I'm here on behalf of my wonderful colleagues, Dr. Catherine Maturin, an outstanding leader in our department and within the field of radiology, and Dr. Amy Young from the Ross Business School and Center for Positive Organizations at the University of Michigan. We were fortunate to have 3 undergraduate students assist us in this project, which was funded by a grant from the Michigan Medicine Wellness Office. This is a series of 16 short 10-minute modules based on the seminal book by Dr. Kim Cameron entitled Positively Energizing Leadership. Dr. Kim Cameron is one of the 3 founders of the Center for Positive Organizations, which is trying to change the world of work into a more life-affirming, humane place, while at the same time producing often dramatically higher performance. We have one introductory module that shares the principles of what positive, energizing leadership is and what it can do. The next 15 modules discuss one leadership attribute that was found across many different industries to be empirically validated to improve workplace well-being and performance. The great news is that each of these attributes and behaviors are easily accessible, free, can be learned, and require no additional staff or resources. Today, we will be discussing the final 15th attribute, how to mobilize positive energizers that can motivate others. Let's get started. Next, we're going to talk about growing your network of positive energizers in your organization to promote positive change using a bottom-up in addition to a top-down organizational change. Positively energizing leaders mobilize positive energizers throughout the organization who can motivate others, while de-energizing leaders overlook or ignore energizers who are eager to help. Positively energizing leaders seek out positively energizing people who can uplift others around them and marshal positive energies to foster improvement and goal accomplishment. De-energizing leaders appoint leaders who are technically competent but neither positive or inspiring, and they discourage engagement from anyone outside of formal leadership. Here is an idea for an easy 5-question survey you can ask of your team members to identify positive energizers in your area. I feel invigorated when I work with this person. After interacting with this person, I feel more energy to do my work. I feel increased vitality when I interact with this person. I would go to this person when I need to be pepped up. And after an exchange with this person, I feel more stamina to do my work. It's also really important to identify positive energizers in your interview process to hire new people onto your team. These questions can help identify future positive energizers to hire. Asking interviewees about their exposure to positive leaders they have seen in the past is a good way to start. When you ask about how they helped a colleague succeed in the past, notice if they mention someone above or below them in the hierarchy. If they only mention people above them in the hierarchy, this could be a red flag for identifying the kiss-up problem. Ask them to describe a challenging situation, and this can be a useful indicator regarding their humility, authenticity, and ability to learn from their mistakes. And be especially aware of how they treat people during the interview process. The secretaries, the cab drivers, the wait staff at meals, which can be a red flag for the kick-down problem. Making any changes within an organization takes a lot of planning and skill. One of the most famous books on successful change effort comes from Kotter, which describes a very specific 8-step process for successfully managing change. The key points are that you have to reach hearts even more than minds to be successful. Make sure you pay attention to emotions as much or more as you do the intellect and logic for the change process. The more listening you can do, the better. A bottom-up approach tends to work better than top-down alone. Know your key vision and articulate this over and over again. And don't forget to celebrate early wins to build motivation to reach your goal. I highly recommend you watch this 10-minute video that explains this important 8-step change model in greater detail. Dr. Kotter has written several very successful books on the change process, but this 8-step basic model has really stood the test of time. There are 3 major components that need to occur with important sub-steps in each of these areas. First, you need to create a climate for change by creating a sense of urgency, building an inclusive change coalition, and creating a clear vision for the future. Next, you need to engage and enable the organization by communicating this vision over and over, or what we call 9 ways, 9 times. Empower others to engage the team and create quick wins to build momentum. The final step is to implement and sustain the change by building and then embedding the change within your organization. Some actual practical tips and tricks on how to mobilize positive energizers in your organization or unit. Start positive leadership training. Leaders learn and practice the attributes described in the Positively Energizing Leadership course by sharing book clubs, trainings, and regular ongoing discussions of examples of positive leadership in regular meetings. Leaders embrace a positive change process. They strongly support and follow Kotter's change process to create a more positive culture throughout the organization during any kind of significant change. And they also collect regular feedback on leaders. Leaders use the Positive Energizing Leadership Survey to obtain feedback on how they are doing with positive practices. The Positive Leadership Survey link is available in this slide deck. One way organizations have created a jump start to this process is to implement a 90 in 90 challenge. The goal is to infect 90% of people in their organization with the principles of positive leadership in 90 days. At the end of 90 days, each unit shares the 1% change that they have worked on during this past 3-month period. A chief positive leader can recruit positive energizers from each unit that meets monthly to share successes and challenges within an inclusive group of positive energizers throughout the organization. Their group accomplishments can be celebrated in meetings and company newsletters. And create rewards for positive energizers in your organization, those that inspire and support others towards positive culture change. New employees would benefit from a robust onboarding, mentoring, and coaching program to instill these positive principles and expectations from day one. If you have time, break into small groups to discuss these questions over the next 15 minutes. Small groups are best kept to 4 to 6 people maximum. Please assign one person in the group to report insights learned from the group back to the larger group when we return. This positively energizing leadership training was presented as a poster presentation at the International Conference on Physician Health in October of 2022. This infographic shares the 15 attributes of positively energizing leaders described in the book by Dr. Kim Cameron from 2021. This survey instrument is directly out of Kim Cameron's book, Positively Energizing Leadership. You can click on this Google Doc link to obtain a copy of this survey.